Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to One Hub Racing. This is season 15, sponsored by Next Level Racing, and tonight it is team contract announcement night. My name is Jess, head of broadcasting at One Hub Racing, and joining me on the stream tonight is someone who had to sort through all team contract applications. It is the head of teams, Jamie. How are you doing, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're keeping well.
Yeah, it's been a tough time for all these drivers, but you somehow managed to get all the teams sorted. So last week we told you which drivers were racing in each tier, the commentators in each tier, as well as which particular drivers to watch out for. And since the stream ended last Friday night, all drivers had a chance to apply for teams of their choice for the team contract system. And we'll be revealing the 30 drivers who have got contracts, and we'll be exclusively telling you why these 30 drivers were picked out of everybody else. So how hard was it to whittle down from 60 drivers wanting a contract to just 30?
Oh, it was quite. Well, some of them were pretty straightforward, but there's quite a few that were quite difficult because there's a lot of really good drivers who applied for them, and I was trying to squeeze everybody in, but as you know, 20 don't go into 10, so you have to make some tough decisions. But I think what I've done at the moment is a pretty fair compromise. I know some people may not be 100% happy, but I can't please everybody. I can only please 10. We've got 10 to give away, so yeah, hopefully the 10 that I got are quite happy, and quite a few actions I saw that were quite happy, so that's good to see.
Yeah, and there's some teams already that have already sorted out their teammates, which is good to see. We'll go through at the end of the stream which teams are still looking for teammates, just in case you are one of those drivers that did not get picked and you want to find out which teams are left. So for those of you that aren't aware, there were 3 groups of teams which people were applying for. These were the top group, which had the top 3 cars on Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull, and they were the drivers that were looking for the most experienced drivers. The middle group, which was Renault, McLaren and Alfa Romeo, and those were the drivers that wanted a bit of improvement. They've been at One Hub Racing before and they performed quite well. And then finally was the bottom group, which mainly consists of Haas, Toro Rosso, Racing Point and Williams. And those were mainly a lot of the rookie drivers actually applied for them. But there was some tiers where the more established drivers applied for that. We'll go through that in a minute. So for the bottom 4 teams, there was only 2 criteria they had to meet. And for the other teams, so the Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, Renault and Alfa Romeo, 3 out of the 5 criteria you had to meet in order to consider yourself worthy of being looked at by Jamie himself. Now, how important is to meet those criteria?
Well, it's very critical, because if somebody has that criteria and you applied and you don't meet it, you automatically get rejected. But it's still possible to apply for them seats that meet the criteria, but the chance you get them seats are very unlikely. So yeah, it is a key factor. And but the fact is, you've got drivers who match criteria, all 5 in fact, and so they might turn down because the drivers that got the seat had better resumes, like better stats. I have the whole stat database, and when I was doing this, and I found out seeing some race winners I had to turn down, so it's just a tough decision, but hopefully people are happy.
Yeah, I hope everybody will be happy as well. And I know the commentators are eager to find out who's been selected a team. I know some of you guys are as well. So we'll start with the bottom tier, like we did last week with podium tier, and we'll work our way down from top group, then middle group, then bottom group. So starting with Mercedes, and the person who's got Mercedes was Eva Hannon, and that was pretty much one of the most straightforward ones that you pitched, Jamie. Why did you choose him than the other applicant?
Well, there was only 2 applicants for this seat, and the other applicant was a rookie, I believe, and Eva Hannon obviously last season had a pretty good season, podium last season. He won a race and he got a couple of podiums and a pole position the driver day, so he easily met that criteria. He had a strong season last season. With some of the quick guys moving up, he may fancy a run at the title this season.
Yeah, that's probably going to give him a big confidence boost, him being at a top team. And just a quick reminder of what the criteria was for the top team: 3 podiums, a win, race premium, 1 season with One Hub Racing, and 2 drivers of the day. Obviously, he's pretty much met most of them anyway, so he had no trouble with that. And are you pretty confident that he's gonna help his constructor finish in the top 3 this season?
Yeah, he fancies chances. Obviously, I don't know all these drivers, quite a few rookies, so it's going to be quite a difficult balancing that. But yeah, he should fancy his chances. He had a good season last season, and it's hard to tell who's going to win this season because qualifying out was so close, and there's quite a few drivers who I can definitely see contending. So I'd say he's in the hunt, at least. He's in the hunt for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, well done to Eva Hannon, and we will obviously discuss possible potential teammates at the end of the streaks. We still got about 29 other drivers to go through. So we'll go through to the next top team, which is Ferrari, and it wasn't really a surprise who got that seat for me. It was Aaron JS 1992, last season's championship contender. Obviously, he dropped out midway through the season, and there was obviously there was only 2 other applicants as well. And was it due to the fact that possibly he had better stats compared to the other applicant?
Yeah. Obviously, I remember people got to forget last season. He was very close to Iceman in the standings when he had to leave due to reasons out of his control. And yeah, he was a very good driver. He's been with us for 2 seasons now, I believe, and he's been at the front in both them seasons. And he's one of the drivers who I think will be getting the top 3 of this season championship. He's really quick, and he's been away for a little bit, so he might be a little bit rusty. But you may struggle a bit early on, but later on, especially after the break, he should feel confident about his chances.
Yeah, definitely as well, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to go with Aaron as well. And I was one of those people that in the stream last week I predicted Aaron was going to win the title, so no pressure, Aaron. So good luck to him, and wherever he chooses his teammate, hopefully they can get good results. There's some really pretty strong drivers in this tier that could get the seat alongside Aaron, so best of luck to him. Red Bull. Another non-surprise here, really. But pretty much it was a no-brainer because obviously Eva Hannon got the Mercedes. He also applied for Red Bull, so there was no other option to go to Gaza, really. So yeah, that there's not much to talk about really, but his stats speak for himself.
Yeah, he's got a very impressive resume, and yeah, he's got the 4 race wins and the 13 podiums, and He's won 2 constructors titles with Red Bull actually, so yeah, they're very happy to have him again last season. He had a difficult season last season. He wasn't on his form, but remember last race season in Brazil last season he got that podium from the back of the grid. So yeah, he had quite a period of season, but he ended it well. And now with some quicker drivers moving up, he fancies his chances. Gasly's he doesn't tend to be one of the quickest guys, but what he is, he's super consistent. And then with a short season, consistency is key. You've got to avoid them DNFs. So, yeah, Gaza could be an outsider for the championship, and it'd be interesting to see how his team does, what teammate he gets. Because he's had a lot of teammates in the past, and he tends to pick good teammates. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah,
and according to sources, he's already picked a teammate. And from what I've seen, I'm not going to reveal too much for him, but based on qualifying night, I think Gaza's chosen a very strong contender. So I think Red Bull are going to be very, very strong, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the Red Bull have been really strong one up in the past, and yeah, they've won a lot of titles, and they fancy another one this season.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the middle teams now. So just a quick reminder what they had to do to be considered for a seat in these teams. So you need to, it's McLaren, Renault and Alfa Romeo next. So complete 1 season with 1 hub racing, 1 driver of the day, race premium, finish top 10 in the season, and follow us on Twitter. So most of it is pretty easy. And the driver that you offered in the McLaren seat was Jonas Albrecht. I can't even say his name. Jonas Albrecht. But I think, again, that was probably mostly straightforward by the looks of things, because the rest of the other drivers that applied were rookies, and then obviously the other driver that applied obviously got another seat elsewhere as well. Was it hard to choose between those two, deciding who's going to get one seat and who's going to get the other seat?
Not really, because that other driver applied for another seat, so I was able to stick Jonas in there. And obviously Jonas, past few seasons, he's been racing in the Pinnacle tier, which was the second tier, and yeah, he's done all right in that tier. But I think pace-wise, he was maybe a little bit at the back, and it's quite surprised he dropped to the podium tier. People may think maybe the position tier, but it's the podium tier this season, and he's been here in the past, and he's had some good results in the past. He's had 10 podiums without a win, so maybe this season he may fancy getting that elusive victory.
Yeah, I would say he's one of the favourites to possibly win the championship this season. Along with there's quite a lot I can tell, but we've seen people in the past like Leon, for example, and obviously White Fountain. They've thrived in being with a lower tier, and I think, if you can agree, I think Jonas being in the lowest tier can probably help him more than hinder him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, obviously he's raced this tier in the past, and I think he always has a good attitude. He turns up to most races, and even when he did struggle for pace a little bit last season, he always stuck in there. He always got them points. He was a beneficiary of that fastest lap point. So it's good to see you back this season, and hopefully he can have a strong campaign.
Okay, so we've done McLaren, and next up is Renault. Quite an interesting predicament in Renault for the podium tier, because literally only 2 people applied, and obviously one person got the Mercedes seat. And it is an unusual thing, because usually a rookie would never get that seat because they didn't meet the criteria. But Nicky, who got the seat, he went for a bold move and just said, you know what, there might be people that don't go for the seat, and I might just get it. And that's exactly what he has done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as I said previously, just because you don't meet the criteria doesn't mean you can't apply for the seat. You can obviously apply for the seat, but that means that if someone else actually meets the criteria, you get automatically rejected. But obviously, what happened here was that 2 guys applied for the seat. One of them actually got a seat elsewhere, and this other guy, Nicky, he applied for it, and he's the only other guy that applied for it. He got the seat. Obviously, I was trying to do up applications for this seat, but nobody was that keen on it. So Nicky got it. So well done, mate. You've got this Renault seat. It was a pretty good drive, and yeah, well done. So hopefully you can have a good season.
I respect him for doing that, and I hope he gets a good result from that. I think a lot of people are going to applaud him for going for Renault, and the Banana car is really fun to drive, especially in Bahrain. So he's going to have the best looking car in Bahrain, I must say. So that's going to give him a good confidence boost for his first ever one-hot race, to be in the car that looks good.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So, right, next, the final middle team is a last-minute decision. Actually, it's going to be either the one person that's going to get it that I'm just about to mention, or a rookie. And he actually applied for this seat last minute on Thursday morning. If he didn't go for that seat, the rookie that applied for that seat would have got it. So if you're one of those rookies that applied for Alpha, then blame Riley for applying last minute because you didn't get that seat. But actually no, obviously no. The other person who applied was not a rookie. He only had a few races in positions last year. So excuse me. But anyway, Riley went for it last minute, and he's got a few stats to his name, I must say. But usually going for stuff last minute can really change things. And obviously, you were obviously pushing for pretty much most people to go for more seats. And Riley responded to your call, Jamie.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was good to see. And he's had a few podiums, and then be joined midway through season 13 podium back when I was racing. That's how long ago this was. And he definitely is quite quick, and he's yet to win a race. And I believe this season with some of these quicker guys moving up, he could definitely find a chance of a race win. Alfa Romeo, they've got some good drivers across the tiers, and I feel they might fancy the chance this year having a strong season. And Riley, he should do well. I mean, I'm hoping for the best for him, because he does seem like a pretty good driver, and hopefully I believe he's got his. And I believe he's got a
teammate
sorted.
He's got a teammate, and that was the one who actually applied for that seat alongside him. So
that's good. Yeah,
that works out for both of them. I'm not going to say who, but that's good in all right. I think we've seen a few occasions that obviously they didn't get a seat, but that they wanted, but they still got the seat they wanted due to the fact that the person who got the contract wanted them. So it kind of works out in both cylinders, really.
Sometimes you get a situation where the two drivers actually apply for the seat, like two drivers, like one of the teammates, they're both fancy, they both pick the teams, and obviously one of them gets it, and the other guy squeezes the teammates. I've seen that happen a few times in the past.
That's obviously...
yeah, definitely,
yeah. So, I expect big things from Alfa Romeo this season. I can feel it. I really do in podium, but we'll see anyway. So bottom 4 teams then. Which were Haas, Toro Rosso, Racing Point and Williams. Their criteria was pretty much simple. Race premium, follow One Hub Racing on Twitter. So these were tough choices. I mean, all of the people that have applied for these seats are rookies, apart from one seat that obviously they were in a podium last season, so that's why they got it. So let's start with that seat actually. Williams, Kingan, 79. Out of all the drivers that applied, there was 2 drivers that raced last season, and obviously he's been there the whole season, where the other driver's only been there for a few races. So that is why you went for him.
Yeah, and he also she raced with us last season. He got a pole position, I believe, in Paul Ricard, which is actually on the calendar this season. So he may advance his chances there. And he had a decent-ish season last season. He didn't get that many podiums, but he definitely got a lot of points finishes, and I think the second season round, in the second season, you tend to have a bit of confidence, and I think he can have a quietly good season in that midfield.
Yeah, I think him maybe being in a lower team will probably help him out a little bit more. I think he could then improve, and obviously, as we're going to talk about later on as well, I think Williams in pretty much all the tiers have got good drivers signed up for their contracts. I mean, there's there's no other tier that's have rubbish drivers in Williams. I think all the tiers have got lucky to get, they always do, don't they? But again, we'll talk about it later on. We don't want to spoil it, do we? So, but it's on Twitter right now. You already know who's in what team, so you know who's in Williams already, but they're looking pretty good, and I would expect for some of the teams to actually have team chats. I know Odems, I remember, made a Red Bull chat for all the Red Bull teams in each of the tiers, but even in season 14, so hopefully we could do that again. That'll be quite fun, but we'll find out anyway. So we'll carry on working our way up, which is Haas, and it is one of the rookie drivers actually, Catboy Key. I think that's how you say his name. Catboy Kai, I don't even know. The other drivers that applied, apart from 2 other people that raced last season, were rookies. So was it basically luck of the draw for Catboy Key?
Yeah, and he actually did do a couple of races last season, but he joined very late, so he didn't actually build up any stats. So I went for that basically because I was a bit of luck of draw really on that one, but I went for that one because basically I felt like that was the strongest applicant for the team, and a lot of the other guys were just pure rookies. And this guy has done a couple of races, and obviously there's a couple more applicants to this team, but they got seats elsewhere. So that was one I just went for basically because I felt it was the best fit. And there's a few of these guys applied for all 4 of these seats, didn't get any, so I do apologise for that. But there's only 4 seats, and I can't give it out to everybody. If I could, I would, but you can't have everybody driving a Williams. You can only have 2 Williams. So
you can only have 1 Haas and 1 Williams, as you were about to say.
Sorry, I was a bit. I was getting confused. Combined,
definitely.
But.
So, because obviously quite a few people got all 4 rejections. I know a few people are not happy with that, but it's just for most of the most, apart from Haas and Williams, the main reason why the other 2 were picked, which I'm going to go through in a minute, was mainly due to just the fact that luck of the draw, and there was one other decision as well, is the reason why these 2... We'll go for Racing Point next, which I was picked, but to be honest, that was my first choice of team, and I got it, so I was quite happy with that. So thanks, Jamie. But what helped for me, I think you can agree, was I think the same for Toro Rosso as well, was that I got a race premium as well, so that kind of helped me with that.
As a factor, and obviously this race appointed the most applicants of all drivers in this tier. So it was quite highly competitive this seat, and it's basically all the drivers I applied, and I sort of went through the race premium ones, and I thought I'd go
first come, first served.
I see you applied for Toro Rosso as well, so I was thinking, but then I saw that another driver applied for Toro Rosso, so I thought he only applied for that seat, so I thought I'd stick him at Toro Rosso and I'd stick you with Racing Point. I thought it was a pretty good compromise.
That was a good compromise, I think. So, and I've already got a teammate sorted, and I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's good.
So, I'm happy with my teammate. I think he applied for the seat as well. So, I think we're going to work quite well together. So, yeah, I think he's applied for another team, and I think that's it. So, he's got one of those. So, best of both worlds. He's not here next week though, so I'm gonna try and get points on his
flag.
Yeah. Well, but that's fine. That's fine. We have lives, so Anyway, so final team for podiums here is Mr. Stim. I've seen him in another few leagues before, and obviously we spoke about this just a minute ago and why he was picked. He was another race premium driver as well, and you just generally thought that he would be a good fit to Toro Rosso mainly, did you think?
Yeah, definitely, and obviously he was a rookie, and obviously 11 rookies in this tier, that's quite a lot of rookies, so there was lots to go around, and he's got his teammate sorted, so his teammate also applied for the seat, so that's good. They're both in the car they quite like, and again, with these rookies, you're not quite sure what they'll do. Obviously, we do have their qualifying night lap time, but that's qualifying night lap, and race pace can be a different factor. So we'll see how they do, but I think they can have a strong season.
Yeah, I agree. So best of luck for that. And finally, before we move on to position, we'll go through the teams that have had a driver that they've picked. So I know that Alpha has got a driver. Toro Rosso has got a driver, I believe. I can't remember. Racing Point, I know. Anyone else? Red Bull as well, I remember.
Red Bull got one. Mercedes have got one, and Haas have got a teammate as well. So
we've got Mercedes, Red Bull, Alpha, Haas, Racing Point, and Toro Rosso. So that just leaves Williams, Renault, McLaren, and Ferrari. So 4 teams. There. Yeah. There are good teams, and out of all the 3 tiers, these are the ones that got the most seats going. And I know there's a few teams that could be on the cusp of deciding soon, but they're not getting back to each other or something like that. So I know one team has messaged someone saying, "Hey, do you want to be teammates?" But I'm guessing he was waiting for someone else to sort out their seat before they got it, and hopefully they'll get it sorted. But so if you're looking for a seat in podium, these 4 seats are the ones to look out for. Get them in by Sunday, and then you should be absolutely fine. So that's it for podium.
Yeah, obviously, good luck for tier. Obviously, tier have raced a lot in the past, and it looks like all these tiers looking pretty good. And obviously, now our position tier will be our middle tier. It's now our second tier position tier, so that'll be what we're going to discuss next.
We'll start with Red Bull. No, not Red Bull. We'll start with Mercedes, which only 2 drivers have applied for, and Ivan has got the seat. Can you tell me why you picked Ivan over the other applicant?
Yeah, well, the other applicant, he only had one podium, I believe, and Ivan, obviously, past 2 seasons, been racing the podium tier. He's got promoted to the position tier, which is now our second tier at One Hub Racing, and he had a good season last season. He won a race, and he had quite a few podiums, and he met the criteria, and he's quite a passionate driver. And his race premium, and he was an obvious candidate for the seat. Obviously, last season he's in a new tier this season, so it's always interesting how drivers perform and move up a tier, and we've got quite a few drivers moving up tiers this season, so that's something to keep an eye out for. But yeah, he should hopefully have a strong season.
I was watching pretty much all season and for Ivan, and he's done quite well. So for him to get the Mercedes seat right off the bat is absolutely brilliant job. And he obviously the criteria is the expectation is to finish in top 3, and I think he can do that. I think he could challenge the likes of well, I'm not going to say Hooks is going to give it away, but I'm challenge the likes of people who have already got seats for the top spot.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, obviously, yeah, it should be good to see how he does anyway. So best luck to him, and hopefully he has a strong season for the Mercedes outfit.
Yeah, definitely. Best of luck to him. And Ferrari, what a shock. Not really. That was a no-brainer, really. Luki, for third season, has opted for the Ferrari. He was runner-up last season. He has stats to prove it. He has been in, like, pretty much almost every season. And, you know, I feel bad for the other person that applied. But Luki had the stats to apply for any team.
Yeah, I'll let you know a secret. Luki's actually won a race from season 1. That's how long he's been here for. So yeah, he's been here a very long time. Very passionate member of the league. Obviously part of the management team and creates all these funky graphics. That was no factor in him getting the drive. It was purely based on his ability. And he had a good season last season. Obviously finishing second to White Fountain, who obviously had a pretty dominant season. But he had a good season last season. Now White Fountain not in his tier anymore. He surely can fancy a crack at this title.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got the hunger in him, to be honest, to win the title this season. I mean, he was so close last season, and unfortunately he didn't have a few of the times his teammate got a race ban, but not going to give too much away on who he's picked as a teammate. So if you guys in position want Ferrari is taken. So both of those teammates have chosen, and again, I'm not that shocked on who Luki has gone for, really. They worked quite well in the past, and I like to wish them the best of luck. So I think Luki definitely has a shot in the title, and what does he need to do to make sure he has a shot right from the get-go?
Well, he needs to. Past last season, a few races he made some pretty. He was quick, but a few races he's cut down the mistakes. I think because he had a few mistakes last season, which it wouldn't have won him the title, but it would have made it a little bit closer. So he needs to cut all them mistakes, and there was sometimes I noticed there was a bit of communication breakdown at Ferrari. So hopefully sometimes they weren't on the same hymn sheet. So, but they work well together, and I think they should have a strong season. So best luck to them, and hopefully they can have a strong season for Ferrari, because he's been very loyal to Ferrari, and Ferrari been very loyal to him in return.
Yeah, best of luck to Luki, and best of luck to his teammate as well. And Red Bull, when I saw this tweet that he got the seat, I was really, really happy. Yeah. It is the legend himself, Dane Star, formerly known as VRT Valentino, the Brazil race winner from last season. And obviously, he was in Pinnacle last season, dropped down just one tier, but again, like White Fountain, he dropped down a tier as well last season, and he won the championship. So he could be another contender to possibly challenge Luki and Ivan, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. And I see he actually won, when he made his debut in one hub in podium tier, he actually won the Drivers' Championship in the Red Bull. So he's got good memories of this car. And I think, looking at this tier, and there's quite a few drivers I can see a champion, and Dane Star's definitely one of them. What I've noticed with Dane Star recently, though, is his race pace is so strong. Sometimes he qualifies a little bit below par, and I think with the two-stop rule, I think qualifying, we're all going to qualify on soft tyres, so I think you want to work his qualifying a little bit. I think that's an area where I can see he can definitely improve. But yeah, he's definitely one of the favourites for this season.
Yeah, best of luck to him. And one thing I forgot to say, actually, was why was Dane Star pit over the other applicant? I forgot to say that, actually.
Well, basically, it was no-brainer, because his
stats?
The stats, I mean, just the other guy didn't really have any stats, and this guy, He's won 10 races and 18 podiums. He's obviously won the Drivers' Championship and took the title in Red Bull when he's had 3 drivers a day. So he meets all the criteria pretty comfortably, and he's got the most wins of all drivers in this tier. So yeah, it was a pretty obvious decision in the end.
Yeah, to be honest, out of the people in the tier, Lukey and Jane-Star, whatever seat they go for, they would get it anyway. So it kind of reminds me of Odem's in the last few seasons, where he would apply for a seat and he would get any seat as well. So I'm quite surprised a few drivers didn't wait to apply for a seat. I'm just actually having a look at. I'm seeing if Chris, Chris did not apply for a seat at all. So, I think he was kind of hoping that obviously one of his friends would get a seat, and they did. So, that's a good point, actually. Why would you think, apart from that, some people would choose not to apply for a team contract?
Maybe they're not too fussed about what they drive for. Maybe they're just more interested in who they're driving with. So. And that's a factor, and also some drivers may just prefer not to apply for the contracts. They just prefer just to purely race and have a bit more freedom, because obviously now these drivers that aren't got a contract, they can race at any team effectively. So you've got a little bit more freedom, but that is dependent obviously on the driver agreeing. So yeah, there's several factors in play, I think. But yeah, there's quite a few higher qualified drivers didn't apply in this tier, but we managed to get all the seats in, so that's good.
Yeah, and has Dane-Star selected a teammate or not?
Yes, he has.
So I'm guessing, I'm not sure about Ivan, I'm guessing the top 3 teams have all got teammates full, so, no.
Ivan hasn't, unless he hasn't sent me it yet, but he hasn't got...
No, so Mercedes is free. So if any of you guys in position want a top seat, Mercedes is free. Okay, so, we've done the bottom, the top teams. Let's go on to the middle teams now with McLaren, and obviously Lukey also applied for McLaren, but he was out since he got Ferrari, and there was... Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people applied for McLaren, and that was the most applied team. And out of all those applicants, you chosen the legend himself, the tier coordinator for this season, Scorpion.
Yeah, obviously he actually got undersell and also dropped by Red Bull mid-season last season. He took the reins to McLaren, and he had quite a strong end to the season. He obviously. He picked up a podium, and he had quite a shock end of season, and he always, whenever I see him chat, he always seems quite despondent, but I believe he has a little bit more belief in himself. He could definitely have a good season, and McLaren is a team which is very popular in real life and in the game, so he's got a good drive there, and this is quite, these three teams here are quite difficult, because there's a lot of really good applicants apply for it, and I had to make 1 or 2 tough decisions. I'm not going to lie in these few seats, and I was smart about where these 3 drivers go. I was trying to figure it out, but I think I've come to a pretty good compromise.
I hope so as well, and with Scorpion, obviously he was in McLaren last season, and he was pretty much happy with... he was in McLaren for, I think, towards the end of this last season, because obviously he didn't do it well in Red Bull, and he even said to me in a management chat that he was quite happy in McLaren and scored some good points, so... do you think this is turning on the tables for Mr. Scorpion right here?
Yeah, obviously a few of these quicker drivers aren't this tier anymore, so you feel fancy it, you definitely fancy it, but then again, it's quite open, this tier. I mean, it's very hard to pick a champion out of this, but yeah, you can definitely fancy. I think people could get that race win. Like I said, a lot of these drivers have got podiums, no win. I think the race win is a big moment, and hopefully for his sake he can get it done this season. And with a 2-stop strategy, it does open up that little bit of surprise element. So good luck to him, and I think he can have a strong season.
And literally as we speak, Scorpion has chosen a teammate as well. So McLaren is pretty much booked. So we'll have to see how his teammate does as well. Next, we'll move to Renault. Again, another tough choice. Like you said, Renault and Alpha were quite tough. But you went with TTG Vitinho to be part of Renault compared to the others. Obviously, Lukey and Ivan have got seats already, so you couldn't choose those two, but obviously out of the drivers you've had left to choose, why did you go for Coutinho?
Well, yeah, like again, similar to Scorpion, he got dropped by McLaren actually, and got replaced by got dropped by McLaren because at the start of the season last season he got involved a hell of a lot of incidents, and McLaren were not too happy with him, and he got dumped by that team. But he went to Williams, and he sort of. He rediscovered himself, I think, and he had a really. I remember Austria. I commented in that race in Austria where he got a podium, and I was so impressed how cleanly he drove, especially after all the heat he was getting. And I think towards the last season, I think he started turning things around, and obviously now it's a clean slate this season, and he is quite a quick driver, and he can definitely surprise a few because he's got secretly good pace. And he can definitely get podiums this season. I'm confident of it.
Yeah, definitely. So I hope he does well in his new phone form, because he got a few drivers of the day last season as well. So he turned over a new leaf, I would say, and gave him a bit more confidence, because obviously he was quite a dirty driver to start with, but because I've commentated him on other leagues as well. But he's found a new tune, I think. So best of luck
definitely.
to him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he definitely. He even said in the tier chats that it was that he got a race ban somewhere. He's thankful for it because I think that's what you do from drivers. You want to make mistakes, just want them to learn from it. He definitely has done, and he's a value member of the league now. So yeah, best wishes to him. And I believe our last team in this group is Alfa Romeo.
Yes, and you have gone with the champion of podium tier last season. Next is Iceman. Now, I'm pretty shocked that Iceman didn't go for a top team, but the main reason why he went for a middle team was because he felt like he wouldn't be challenging for the top of the precision tier straight away. So I think that's why he went for Alfa Romeo. But why did you go for the champion, basically?
It was either Scorpion or Iceman. I was just figuring out what team. I was going to have these two in these two teams, just figuring out which way was the right way to go. And I figured Scorpion may prefer the McLaren, so I thought I'd stick Iceman in the Alpha, because obviously Iceman, I think he's Finnish, and he also, Kimi Räikkönen drives Alpha, so I think, that might work out, and he seems quite happy with it. And yeah, last season the Puma he had a very strong campaign and sort of dominated it in a way, and I think he'd definitely up there this season. I don't know if he'd be a championship, but he could definitely get like a top 6. I think this season is definitely on the cards for him.
Yeah, I think so as well. And obviously, he's had a bit of confidence boost. There was a few podium tier champions in the past that have not done quite well, but hopefully he could be one of those drivers that breaks that curse and does well in this tier.
Yeah, definitely. And my best luck to him. Obviously, he had a pretty good season last season. I think banning the season, what I got to mention, he was keen for maybe a higher tier. So I'm thankful for him. He's got the opportunity, and hopefully he can develop in this tier like he did last season.
Yeah, that'll be good to see. So well done to Iceman for getting that team. Not quite sure if he selects a team yet. From as far as I'm aware, he hasn't. So he's still got a team left. So finally we go to the bottom 4 teams, and quite a mixture of drivers have applied, because there wasn't many rookies in this tier. There was only about 5 or 6. So pretty much, before we go straight into it, pretty much a open field on who would actually get those seats.
Yeah, it was pretty much free for all on this, and all these drivers actually they've all actually raced with us in the past, and we've got 2 race winners in this group, so yeah, it's quite surprising, but yeah, and we've got another driver who has dropped down from the prestige tier last season in this team, so yeah, these bottom groups, you could see them at the front of the grid.
Definitely, and we do have a race winner in Toro Rosso, and his name is Janul 16 _, and I think he was the only one out of the drivers that applied for Toro Rosso that got that race victory. And obviously, I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me just have a look. No, he's not race premium. So I thought race premium was standing from the crowd, but I think do you think that race victory helped him get the seat?
Yeah, and obviously, the content last season, the pinnacle tier, and he was quite a quick driver, and he did win the race. And I think towards back in last season, he did struggle a little bit. I think maybe his confidence has dipped a little bit, and maybe this season been in a slightly, it's not that much slower tier, but a slightly slower tier may help him get some confidence back. And again, if he can get his mojo back, he's definitely a title contender. And yeah, he's already got a teammate as well, so he's well planned for his season. And I think they can have a strong season, Tyrell. So I think. And I think it could be interesting dynamic what's happening in that team.
Yeah, and I've seen who has applied, and for some of the teammates that have been negotiated already, they didn't actually apply for those teams. And do not forget, when you're thinking about choosing a teammate for the team, the other teammate does not have to meet the criteria that the other guys had to when they do the team contract system. If you want to be in a top team and you feel like in other leagues that you've done well, you can challenge for titles and stuff like that, then approach the people that have got seats for those and try and go for it, because you never know. Like we've seen in previous season, it may tend to work in their favour. So that's what a few of the guys have done, and just hope the best of luck. Well, we'll go through more about that in a minute. But next is Racing Point, and I've got to say, this person has changed his PSN a few times, like I said last week.
Yeah.
Tema Yuji, also known as Cloudy Balloons, at the beginning of his campaign, obviously, he wasn't known as a clean driver. He has been getting there recently, and obviously, he had obviously a rookie and also one who was also in Precision last season. So it must have been tough between those three drivers, but I think you're saying it was probably up to Cloudy Balloons and the position driver from last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and he's had a very interesting career in this league. He won a race in season 11. I believe he won the Baku Grand Prix season 11, and then in season 12 he actually got kicked. He actually got kicked from the league, and I remember him putting a message on the website when the new season opened up, saying that getting kicked from the league that season maybe helped him maybe develop as a driver, and he's very keen on his on certain things, and he's happy. I think he's happy with that team, and again he was in the pinnacle tier last season. I believe he left halfway through, but he was quite strong, and it's hard to tell how he would do, but I think he'll definitely be upper midfield. I think that's where he'll be this season.
Oh, strong prediction there, and I was racing him in the 5-lap open lobbies, and obviously he's kind of quick, to be honest. So I can understand why he was picked to be in Precision tier. So best of luck to him for that. And next is Haas, one of the only rookies in this tier to get a seat. And that is New Zealand Cam. And that's a very interesting one, actually, because he was the one who didn't take part in Quali Night, and he only got put in a Precision tier this week. And he got a seat, and there was no other choice really, because I haven't got Mercedes, so that was just again luck of the draw. And if you apply for a seat, no one else that has got a seat goes for it, then you get a seat. So I'm guessing that was the case for him. Yeah,
that was his decision of the night. I mean, I was just I was thankful he actually joined the league, because I'd have struggled, because I'd have diving and applying for Haas, and obviously, you can't have two seats at the same time, so I'm thankful Cam did join and apply for that seat. So, thank you, and I believe he's already got a teammate sorted. So, he's all prepared, and best luck to him on this season.
Yeah, I hope he does well as well, and proves to himself that he deserves to be in this. Obviously, he has we have no judgment on his pace, because he wasn't in Quali Night, so it's basically a clean slate out of everybody else. Obviously, we know about everybody else's pace, but we don't know about his. So, obviously, you may judge about him in other leagues, but it may be different. He may feel better in the Haas car, and we'll just have to wait and see that one. And finally, in Williams, we got old prestige tier driver, Brettster, and I think that was pretty much the decision on why he was picked for Williams, because obviously he was in a top tier seat last season. He got a few. He's got not many stats, but again, he's probably going to be a bit more confident being in this tier, I think.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a title contender this season. Yeah, and I believe Williams. They've got some really good drivers in the tiers, and yeah, he's definitely a title contender. And I think last season he didn't like similar to a few other drivers. He got them all in last season because I think he was. But I think now he's in. But he did clean up his act towards back end last season. He got some pretty decent results. I believe so, and he was actually on minus points for a very long time because he got a penalty, but he managed to clear that. And yeah, hopefully he had a
That
good
was
season
Canada,
this
wasn't
season.
it? That was Canada where
Yeah,
he got a good result,
yeah,
and he was one of the Driver of the Day nominations. So I can't remember if he won it. I can't remember. Let me
no,
just.
I don't think he won it. I think he got
Oh, wait.
like top five or something.
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean, he won Driver of the Day. Did he won Driver of the Day?
Oh,
No, he didn't.
didn't
Okay. No, he
no, he
didn't.
won
All
it.
right. He was close though. He was close getting Driver of the Day. Maybe we'll see a Driver of the Day for this season. And yeah, well done to Breadster and good luck again. He's got a team. So we know Ferrari's
Yeah,
got a teammate sorted. We know Red Bull's got a teammate sorted. We know
Mercedes have as well.
Yep, just now. Okay, that's good. So we got the three top teams have got teams sorted for precision. McLaren's got a teammate sorted. Toro Rosso's got a teammate sorted. Haas has got a teammate sorted, and Williams has got a teammate sorted. So I think that just leaves Renault, Alpha, and Racing Points. So Precision are doing very well negotiating their teammates. Fair
Yeah.
play. So well done.
Alpha,
Well done.
Alpha got teammates sorted as well.
Oh,
So
Alpha's got a
yeah,
team, so it's just Renault and Racing Point then. Oh, so they'll be
yeah,
fighting for a team. So whoever goes first, basically, gets the spot, and then the other person will have to draw the short straw and get the other
yeah,
one. But we'll have to wait and see on that
yeah.
one.
I'll,
So
yeah,
yeah,
after the stream's done, I'll just double check to make sure and I'll put it in the chat for sure. Because I think that's right. But after we've done the stream, I'll go
recording.
back on the data. Oh, recording, sorry. I think recording's done.
Yeah,
I'll check. I'll check on because I've got those messages, so it's hard to keep on top of. But I'll check
it is
I'll
hard.
write it down in the tier chat so people are fully aware what's going on. So yeah, that'll be probably done sometime like Friday night, maybe early Saturday morning. But yeah, that'll definitely be done then.
Yeah, so if you're still waiting for a team position, get it done quick. Just message one of the drivers saying, hey, want to be teammates? And if you get it done, then that seals the other driver's fate. So, yeah, that's all the precision stuff sorted. Now we move on to the creme de la creme, which was probably one of the hardest, but the first tier to be decided for
Yeah,
teams. Pinnacle, you decided this
yeah,
quite early on, but probably because most of them were quite hard, but some of them were pretty much straightforward, and you
yeah,
wanted to get those done straight away. So that was
yeah,
good news to see.
yeah, yeah. I sort of knew the top teams. I mean, and then I did hear applying on. This team this seemed to fit perfectly all the teams. So I thought, it fits perfectly, and there wasn't that many more applicants coming in. So I thought, yeah, let's get this sorted. There's one team where a lot of drivers applied for, and that was slightly difficult, but it was sort of obvious who had to go for on that one. So yeah,
Speaking of that, shall we? Let's start with the bottom teams then, actually, because obviously we're
yeah,
at the
because
pinnacle
it's
tier. Yeah,
interesting.
and start bottom to top. So start with Williams. So let me just count how many people applied. It was the most applicants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drivers have
Half the
gone
drivers.
for Williams. Oh my god! And it was torn between one and the other, but once you've gone for it, it was RLRT Louis
Yeah,
that got the seat, and mainly because he was
yeah,
champion. That was the deciding
yeah.
factor.
Yeah, you can't. I'm sorry, but You cannot reject the champion a seat. That's impossible. So yeah, that was once he applied for that, and it was the only seat he applied for. I knew I had to stick him there, and whoever else applied for it, I'm sorry, but I have to go with the champ there.
Yeah, sorry for the ones that were applying for the seat and did not get it, sadly. But yeah, I was quite shocked that obviously Louis actually applied for the Williams seat, but this is what he told me a few nights ago. He applied for Williams because he doesn't want to get held up in the pits.
Oh yeah, it's right at the end there. So yeah, in qualifying.
Yeah, we go. So yeah, I could understand. I could understand why he went for that seat, and obviously he was in McLaren last season as well, and he had the chance to possibly go to a top team in the middle way of the season. Again, he didn't go for it. I mean, I just guess he just wants to set his expectations low, or maybe he's confident in the lower teams' cars handling more than the top teams.
Yeah, and I'm not going to give too much away, but they're good teammates, and that's going to be a really strong team. So Williams are going to run the out for them, and they're going to be a pretty strong team. So
yeah, so Williams has been decided, right?
Yeah, they're really strong. And
oh, I can't wait for Williams. That's going to be great. It's going to be great. I think one of the only teams I actually get to watch properly this season. So anyway, next is only one applicant went for it. So I'm not going to go through too much about him. He was he got moved up to the top tier this season. SOR Hamilton. He was in Hatton position as well, and not everyone in Pinnacle liked the Haas, so I'm guessing that Hamilton did. So not much to go for really.
I had a few drivers last season messaged me about don't put me in the Haas because apparently the Haas, even though it's going to be even cars, apparently the Haas is not that nice driver. SOR Hamilton loves it. He had a pretty good. He joined very late on last season in precision, but he got a few podiums. He was right up there with White Falcon. He was the guy that could. I believe he actually won Mexico across the line, but lost out on penalties. So SOR, if he could beat White Falcon in a race, you have to pay quick. So yeah, I mean. I think you should have a good season, but it's hard. But this tier is so quick. It's very difficult to tell where he'll stand. Yeah.
And the fact that only one rookie got a seat compared to the others just goes to show how quick this tier is. So so Hamilton, obviously he only has to finish the race. I think Hamilton's going to exceed his expectations a bit, but he's going to find it a bit more difficult to possibly challenge for the top, I think. So obviously he came from a lower tier last season. I mean, he's got a point to prove, but we've seen the likes of Westy do well with this challenge. Do you think Hamilton could step up to that challenge?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Midnight was similar. Midnight's his tier as well, and he isn't really well. Yeah, he could definitely give a challenge, but I think the top places may be slightly out of reach because them guys at the top, they're like aliens effectively. They're so quick. And it's incredible how quick they can go. But yeah, you could definitely be midfield fighting for points. You never know, a lucky day. You never know, safety cars. You can always snap a podium somewhere. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how he can do this season.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, thanks a lot to Hamilton. Pretty much an easy fit there, and I think he must be happy that he was the only one that went for it. But, first come, first served, I guess, for him, really, for the Haas seat in Pinnacle. So, Racing Point, obviously Hamilton got Haas, so obviously he was out of the picture. But out of the two other applicants, there was one rookie and there was one who was in Pinnacle last season, and obviously you went for the one who was in Pinnacle last season, had the stats. It was Taze Leroy, who actually got a win last season, and that pretty much sealed his fate in the Racing Point.
Yeah, obviously quite unlucky last season how he left the league, but he's back now, and it's good to see him back. He did quite well last season. He was right up there at the front of Pinnacle with likes of Westy and Leon and Cole. So he's definitely one to look out for this season. I believe he's quite. He seems to be improving every time I see him. So yeah, he should have a good season. Racing Point, I think that's a good team for him where he can maybe learn this tier a bit more and maybe try and develop as the season goes along.
Yeah, definitely. So best of luck to him. And obviously he got it because obviously the other guy didn't have stats. And the crucial thing here is if you apply for a lower team and you're a rookie and someone applies that got more stats than you, then obviously they're going to go for the one who has the more stats unless they have applied for a higher team that no one else is better. So, that is a consideration. And obviously as well with the other teams, if people got equal stats and maybe got race premium to decide things, it might just be on a first come, first serve basis. Whoever applies first gets it, or maybe it was just luck of the draw. For most of the guys, it was luck of the draw, because obviously you wanted to give people a fair chance to apply for a team. So anyway, Toro Rosso, now that is going to be a strong team, I must say. Finally, Wright Fountain's in the top tier.
Yeah.
He didn't go for Red Bull though. He went for Toro Rosso.
No.
He was the precision champ. I'm quite shocked, to be fair, that he went for Toro Rosso instead of Red Bull. But again, he's like Iceman, like Lukey, like most of the guys I've spoken about, and Louis as well. He could apply for any team and still get it. So I think that was another easy decision for you, I think.
Yeah, he's got the most wins of all the active drivers in one race, and he's got 26 podiums as well. So yeah, he's definitely get it. And I think a lot of people have been asking for this, so they're finally going to see it. They're finally going to see how White Fountain does in the top tier. So finally, everyone's going to get their wish. And yeah, he may struggle pace-wise, but what we know of White Fountain is he is super consistent. He does not make too many mistakes, and he's going to be there to pick up any carnage from the guys ahead. Yeah,
that's going to be difficult for him. I mean, he's been dominating all season. The amount of wins he got last season, it was just crazy. Like, precision was decided in Russia. Everybody else was not decided for quite a while. I know Prestige was decided in Japan. Pinnacle was decided in Brazil, and I can't remember when Podium was decided. Probably Mexico, I think. But so that was quite early on. But I think White Fountain's probably going to find it a little bit more difficult to retain his title with the likes of Louis and lots of other people in there, and possibly Rafa as well, making a comeback. Rafa was the big one that didn't get a seat, and but obviously, I think the ones who have got a seat would want to snap Rafa right up, so he's going to get a teammate right away, I think. So Rafa has nothing to worry about. So So next we've got Alfa Romeo, and again, similar situation to Renault in Podium. Only rookies apply for it, but it just goes to show, even if you don't meet the criteria and no one else goes for it, then you have no other choice really, and you just went for luck of the draw, and you went. Oh no, Philip! Philip's not a rookie, is he?
Yeah. No, he raced the back end of last season, being a good tier. I went for him basically because he did race and he showed some decent pace. He didn't get the results, but his pace was definitely strong. And I think with a full season behind him, he could definitely strive to do the best he can. And I believe he's got a teammate sorted already, so he's sorted. And best luck to him as Alfa Romeo. Obviously, he raced in Haas last season, but now he's bumped up a great Alfa Romeo, so good luck to him.
A big step, I think. It's more team expectations, so we'll have to find out and see what happens. Next is a guy that technically stayed in this tier. In Renault, technically he got moved up, because obviously it's a top tier. He was not expecting it. He was in McLaren last season, and basically it was between him and a rookie, because obviously the next driver I'm about to talk about got the McLaren seat. So basically it was between two of the drivers. So it was no-brainer that you went for Skivan, Jamie.
No, this tier was pretty obvious here, Charles. Well, Skivan, he last season in the Pinnacle tier, he ended the season really strong. He was really quick at the end of last season, and I believe he won a race last season, I believe, and I
can't remember. I think he did.
He won. Yeah, he won. I think he won. Yeah, he definitely won a race last season. He had quite a few podiums, and sort of last season the McLaren team and Pinnacle team, they started seeing quite strong. Then they had a bit of a off period, and they both ended the season strong. So yeah, obviously they're both in this tier, and I'm not going to tell, and they should have a good season again, but I don't think they're together. I think they're separated this season. So that's a little bit of news I'm going to give you. So them two, so Skivan and Louis Favell are not teammates this season, but Skivan has got his teammates sorted. So
brilliant!
And it seems like quite a good teammate as well. So they should have a good season at Renault.
Yeah, it looks like Pinnacle's mostly got their teammates sorted, which fair play to them. Some of them haven't got their teammates sorted, but we'll find out in a minute. So next, McLaren was new to the league last season, and it was VRT Shapalili, and that was mainly due to the fact that the other two were rookies that Shapalili got a seat.
Yeah, and Shapley obviously, well, he only raced 2 races last season, but he managed to stack a constructors championship and actually got the constructors trophy, so that's pretty good effort. Obviously, doing 2 races and getting constructors championship, but yeah, obviously he had quite a good race. I think he got the podium on 2 races last season, so yeah, he's definitely quick. And now it's the lead driver McLaren. Let's see how he can do. Obviously, he liked the car because he did apply for that team, and I felt it was only fit that one of the champions was staying in that car. So that's why I sort of went for him here. And also, the other 2 drivers didn't really meet the criteria.
No, they didn't. But yeah, well done to Shapalili. I can't expect him to reach higher. I've seen him practice in time trial for a lot of leagues and a lot of other races. I think he can start to take this very seriously, and maybe he can possibly find the form that maybe Leon has found, and possibly challenge for maybe the midfield, maybe become like a Carlos Sainz to be better than the rest.
Yeah, well, he's in the right car for that, so yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Right, final 3 teams, final 3 drivers. Here we go. Red Bull, you've gone from the one who was in Pinnacle a few seasons ago. Then he was in Prestige, and now he's back in the top tier. It was VRT Midnight, and now it was a Midnight JL13, and obviously Ski Van had got Renault, and obviously the other driver that I'm about to mention got Mercedes, and again that was a easy fit. He did well in the Red Bull last season, so
yeah, he did.
So was that why you picked him?
Yeah, he's one of the drivers last. Obviously, we were not having the Pinnacle last season, Prestige last season, but he's one of the drivers that stuck at it till the end, and he got some really good results. He was very consistently around the podium area, and actually, I believe in I was saying he was in once in the podium tier, and him and Dainstar, they had some epic battles that time. But yes. I believe he's improved a lot since then, and now he's one of the quickest drivers in. He's one of the quickest drivers in One Hub now, and yeah, he should have a good season. A top 5 is possible for him, I think. But there's quite a few guys that are extremely quick. But he could definitely be in there with them guys on his day.
Yeah, so he was 3rd last season. He was got the top 3. So in any other situation, obviously if he did that this season, he would get a trophy, because he did get a trophy last time. But he will get it this time. So if he keeps it up, he can carry on. And due to the experience, and obviously a few people moving up, this could be a turning point for Midnight. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, he's quite. He's definitely developed in this league as he's gone along. He's gone quicker every season, so if we look to make that step forward, maybe be a title contender. But there's quite a few drivers.
Wins?
Wins are possible. Yeah, especially with the 2-stop and safety cars. It's definitely a factor. Definitely. He should have a good season.
Yeah, so well done to Midnight for getting Red Bull. And next in Ferrari, a very strong team for Pinnacle tier was obviously Lakitu, and obviously the only other person that applied was a rookie. So and obviously Lakitu had the stats, and the rookie obviously didn't meet the criteria. So again, that was an easy choice for you.
Yeah, and he did a really good lap. He did a really good time qualifying. That it was 5th, I believe, and yeah, he can definitely. He's quite annoyed because he hasn't got a driver a day, and he's desperate for that. So hopefully he can get that. Hopefully he can get that driver a day. I see him on Twitter all the time asking about it. So he gets quite a few nominations, but he never wins a vote. So if people want to be kind to one day, and maybe a vote from driver a day, so he can finally celebrate that.
I've nominated him a few times when I was filling in for Prestige streams, and he never won. So know, I voted for him, and that just did not work out. So yeah. Hopefully he gets one this season. I swear to God. Lily, the commentator, I swear to you, do it. But anyway, our final driver that has got a team this season, he was 2nd in qualifying night. It is Paris. And he was in Williams last season, so he's moved all the way from the bottom team to the top team. And again, I think he's going to do quite well this season.
Yeah. And them two have a great team, and he's a good teammate with somebody. And trust me, that's the team that I believe. I'm not giving too much away here, but that's the team who are going to contend with Williams. That team, the Mercedes team looks really good as well. So I believe it could be like 2014 again, where Mercedes and Williams are the two best teams.
Yeah, that would be amazing, honestly. I mean, I think Williams usually do well in one hub anyway, so, you know.
Yeah, Williams is successful. Yeah, Williams have got most. Well, they did have most wins, but Mercedes catching up last season. But I think Williams may pull away a bit now again. So yeah, Williams have always had good drivers, and again this season they're all across all the tiers have got good drivers. So yeah, Williams do well to get their drivers in.
Yeah, well done to them, and that's it then. That's all the team drivers we talked about. But the final thing we've got to do is tell you guys who are still yet to find a teammate for Pinnacle, which teams have been decided and which teams are still yet to be decided. So can you reveal that to Jamie once again?
Yeah, well, again, I'll update this later. But at the moment, I've got Ferrari not having a teammate, and I don't believe Toro Rosso have a teammate, and also I believe Haas don't have a teammate, and I don't think Racing Point do either. Oh, Racing Point do have a teammate.
They do, because I've seen it on messages.
Yeah.
So those three of so basically Toro Rosso, Haas, and Ferrari. Is that right? Still waiting for a team.
Yeah.
So yeah, position tier, the one that's have been the most proactive with the sign-ups. But again, all tiers have been proactive with the negotiation. So well done for those of you that have got teammates already. It's great to see. I mean, but for those of you that are still wondering about questions and stuff like that about the team negotiations, you have until Sunday night at 10 p.m. to get a team sorted. So if you are one of those drivers that did not get a contract and you haven't got offered a seat by those 10 drivers, then don't be frightened. Just approach them. Approach the drivers that are still looking for a teammate and say, hey, I want to team up with you. And you don't have to meet the criteria. If the driver thinks you're a good fit, then you're in. So and then the driver that's got a contract will have to then message Jamie to say, hey, that my teammate is blah de blah. So make sure you get that out of the way. And I had one question which I think I know you've got, Jamie, is can you have a teammate that hasn't got a contract? The answer is no. N-O. Yeah. That's I think most questions I've seen in the chat. No, you can't have a teammate that's not got a contract. They've got contracts for a reason. You can only have a teammate that has had a contract, I'm afraid. I know some people may disappoint some of you, but that is racing. That is one hub racing. That is what drivers have to face in real life. So, any advice for people still looking for teammates?
Well, just basically try and ask around. I mean, when I did this, I always made sure the guy didn't have a team because one, for fairness, and number two, because I actually preferred finding a driver to team up with. So I think there's quite a few good drivers there that still haven't got a teammate yet. So don't lose too much hope. But I'd say you have to probably ask them tonight, just to get in who you want. And I believe if always with teammates, if possible, it's always wise to maybe, if you can, try and communicate with each other. So you don't both come in the pit at the same time, for instance, and you don't leave garage at the same time, so you delay each other. So it's always wise just to maybe have some communication, if at all possible. Maybe you don't have to talk to each other all the time, but maybe just to say when you're pitting and stuff, because there's nothing worse than, I've seen it happen in the past where you pit and you and your teammate pit at the same time. So that's something to avoid.
That was my requirement for when I was looking for a teammate. You have to be in the party with me for the two-stop especially. I mean, I'm glad I've got a teammate that can go in the party anyway, but I think that's what a few people have looked for in a driver, is to obviously go in the party. But there may be some drivers that are not willing to go in the party, but that's fair enough. As long as you have that communication somewhere, even if you just message them saying, right, I'm going in the pits now,
Just maybe, like maybe before the race starts, maybe just say I'm going to pit in this lap, so maybe you pit the other lap. But we know race is dynamic, and sometimes that changes. So yeah, it's
Safety
always
cars.
just wise. Yeah, it's just white. Yeah, but safety car, most people pit anyway. But yeah, if the safety car comes out, try and make sure you're the lead car, because but yeah. And obviously, with the weather, I mean, it might help with weather as well if it rains, because your team might be on different part of track. It might tell you how it's feeling different part of track, and it might help you decide when to pit, change tyres. So yeah, having a team, I've had teammates in the past I communicated with, and I've actually I've actually quite good relationships. I mean, the first one was Samster, I believe, and me and him had a really good rapport as teammates. So yeah, just it's not compulsory to do that, but it's just you can get, it's just better because you can just maybe get you're not costing each other.
So I know a few people that haven't got drives yet. They will prefer to wait for you to select a team, which is fair enough. I know a few rookies that want to do that because they don't know any of the drivers, which is fair enough. But if you know a lot of the drivers in the tier and you haven't found a teammate yet, I strongly recommend you do that, because otherwise you're going to end up with someone you don't know, someone that you may not get along with, and it may mess up your strategy, and you don't really want that. So get it in as soon as possible, and then on Monday or Tuesday or something, then One Hub Racing Twitter account, they will announce all the teammates again. If you want to announce who your teammate is on Twitter, go for it. You don't have to wait till One Hub Racing has tweeted out who the teammates are. There's a few people that announced teams already, so which is how I know who's in what team. So go for it. If you got a team, if you got it sorted, just tweet saying, "Oh, I'm in this team with this such and such." I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna do it soon. But there we go. So, without further ado, we're gonna end the stream there. So. Apologies that we had to record the last bit of the stream, but again, the technical issues do arise. Not really that surprised due to the coronavirus. A lot of people are on, so it happens. But hopefully it doesn't happen next week for the stream. So hopefully the commentaries will have better luck than we are. So a quick reminder on who's commentating this season. So we've got Luke and Liam commentating for Podium at 6:30. So you can find the Podium tier there, and then at 7:30. Austin and Owen, and then Alex Lilliart can't make next week, so in his place we've got Kieran McGinley and a familiar face, the one who's not me, I'm obviously speaking right now, but someone who's in this party right now, Mr. Jamie. So he's reserved, but he's free next Friday, so he's joining Kieran in the commentary box. So it's great to have you back in the commentary box just for this one time. So.
Yeah, it's the first time I've come to that top tier, so yeah, it should be interesting. Obviously, and Bahrain, it's quite a good track as well. Bahrain's quite a good track for racing as well, so it's going to be quite a fun race. And obviously, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully it should be a good one. Hopefully, well, we know it's not going to rain there, so that's one thing. So,
that's what I'm relieved about. I'm glad we're starting up Bahrain, to be honest, even though I'm not good at it. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. Make sure you get your teammates sorted, and the first race is next Friday, starting at 6:30 for Podium, 7:30 for Precision, and 8:30 for Pinnacle. Don't forget the 2 stops or you'll get disqualified, and please make sure you turn up. If you can't make it, let your tier coordinator know, which is Gaza for Podium, Scorpion for Precision, and White Fountain for Pinnacle. I think that's the right coordinators, I think. Yeah, that's good, okay. So, that's it for the stream. Thank you, Jamie, for joining me in the commentary box.
Yeah, and also, on that 2-stop rule, we will never forget the podium tier in season 13 where a driver was 24 points ahead in the final race. There was about 6 cars left on the race, and he got to pit, and instead of getting like 8 points for 6th, he got disqualified and lost the championship. So yeah, that will go down into
and I had to commentate on that, and so did Nick, and we were both shocked as anything. We just couldn't believe it, really. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. We will see you for the first stream next week at 6:30, 7:30, and 8:30. Until then, have a good rest of your week. And if you're racing, good luck for your first race in Bahrain. Good night.
Yeah, good luck.
Teammate negotiations. At One Hub Racing, there are 20 spaces in each tier. The 10 teams will accept one driver through the team contract system, which you can find out more about by watching the team contracts tutorial video. Those 10 drivers who are accepted to drive for those teams will then have a responsibility to offer a drive alongside them. When they offer this drive, the drivers don't need to meet the criteria that they had to in order to get a position within the team in the first place. Failure to agree a teammate will mean that the head of teams will select a teammate for you. That is not advised because you may get a teammate that you don't necessarily get along with, and it may affect your chances on winning the Constructors' Championship. So, it is very important and advised that you get a teammate agreed on before the deadline.